This has been a fabulous week for me. I am excited about the process and the progress that our students, Becca students, have gone through. We had 10 students graduate from high school on Saturday. We have 14 students in university, and if you could have seen their faces when they got their first check. The thrill, the responsibility, the excitement, that's the end of the situation, or the Becca students. The beginning, I met with the first year Basico students, our brand new Beccas, and they are scared, excited, nervous, trying really, really hard to do a super job and take this opportunity very seriously. Anybody that's part of the Becca program, I just want you to know I see the students' enthusiasm and hope, and you are changing your lives. There's no other way to say it.
Until a week ago, Palau was just a place on a map in a faraway country, and the student we've been sponsoring, Ilda, was just someone we knew from photos and from letters and so on. But this week we met her in person, we interacted with her, and it's just been a life-changing experience to see how the work that the church has been doing and the money that we've been contributing, how it has had lasting impact on her life and how it's transformed her into a self-assured little woman. It's just been a 5-star spiritual experience.
This is an awesome trip. This is not my first time I've been there, so I expected a great experience, and I had an even better one than I expected. One of the parts that I really liked was I now know a couple of people, and when I'm someplace else in the village, I look for them, and they look for me, and we know each other. It's fantastic. So my Beccas worked with me today. A bunch of them worked with me on getting photographs and writing letters back to Sunday schools, and it was a lot of fun. They got enthusiastic about it. They made little crafts, sent them back, so we're now really exchanging one-on-one letters.
You know, there are a lot of things going on in Palau, and I've chosen to focus on something I can do for the women as an economic development opportunity in Palau. And since they can weave, that means they can make stuff, including scarves. So we started selling scarves that they made and giving them an economic opportunity they never had before. And it's really come into play in the last couple of years. And I believe in that time they've made over 500 scarves for us. And we put about $7,000 into that economy, which is huge for them because they get to keep the money and they get to use it for their own needs.
This was my first trip to Guatemala, and I have to say it was an experience that I will never forget. Hal has been asking me for 2 years to come to Guatemala, and finally I said, okay, but I was wondering what in the world I could do. And he said, well, you could teach art lessons to the kids. And that's what I did. I brought 2 bags, 2 suitcases full of art supplies, and we had art classes for the kids. And I have to say, I have never seen a child so excited about one crayon and a piece of paper. Each day I had about 25, maybe 30 or 40 kids, and we painted, we did watercolor, we did crafts, and they were just so excited. And it made me feel good to think that maybe I was planting the seed into maybe the next Picasso. So we'll see. I'm really glad I came.
I think the common theme this year, or at least a sentiment I think that was shared by a lot of the return travelers, was this was a year in which we really got to see a lot of the fruits of our efforts. in years past, you've seen the development of the programs, now you're starting to see the effect that it has on the village. For me, I've always been I felt very accepted by the children of the village. They're always happy to see you. They're enthusiastic. One of the biggest changes I've noticed this year is the enthusiasm of the adults in the village, which is a stark difference. They actually let me go way back in the village, parts I'd never seen before, and photograph the women while they were doing their weaving. And everyone had a lot of fun. Everybody seemed very comfortable having me there, and I don't know, it just goes to show how far we've come with the relationships that we've built, and that was really the way that this thing was supposed to work. It works through the relationships, not a one-sided thing. And this year was really, I felt like that aspect of it with the relationships is really paying off.
Hi, my name is David. I live in New York City, but Barney Hale is an old family friend of my mother's. I lived there when I was a child, and I've seen Barney a few times in the last few years and heard about this project and thought it was interesting. I wanted to come and see what he was doing, see what the whole church was doing, and I thought it would be an interesting way to spend a week, and that would be it for me. But what I found was something, I don't want to say magical, something very special, something unbelievable. And after having made so many friends, unexpected friends, I think there's no way that I couldn't come back.
I just want to thank everybody who has been helping the different programs that we have in Pala. You just don't know the change that you have made in that village. I'm so thankful that I've been a part of this, and so I've been able to see the different changes that people and students, elders have had in that village. Education is very important. By helping the students in Pala, you are avoiding the people from Pala going into the city and working there in the dump. That's what many people do. When they don't have opportunities, they go to Guatemala City, but they can't find opportunities there, so they end up in the dump. And so by helping students getting educated, you are avoiding this. I've worked in the dump in Guatemala City, and so I've been able to see the women who have to go and dig into the trash. They have their babies, but since they don't have no place to leave the babies, they just put them in the ground or on the side of the trash while they dig, things to recycle or food for their children. And the rats are there biting their fingers. I know a baby that the rat was biting the nose and his toes. So yeah, you see a lot of things in there. You don't see only poverty, but you see everything at the same time. It is very sad. Thank you so much. You don't know the changes that we've seen. The smiles, the opportunities. I'm so amazed to see 17 university students in 2014. That's amazing. I can't believe we have so many students, especially in a remote area like Pala. Thank you so much.
I enjoyed talking to the women about nutrition. I talked about several different topics, the food groups, breastfeeding, not eating so much sugar, because the sugar will grow their bellies, not make them tall. And they said, well, Lila, what can we do? And so I talked to them a little more about the food groups, and I enjoyed playing with the children. I had so many friends attached to me at several different points during the day. And I also weighed and measured a lot of the children ages 2 all the way up to 27. Some of those were Becca's. And most of them were very excited to be weighed and measured. I don't think many of them had ever been weighed before, but they were familiar with being measured. So they really enjoyed that.
one of the things that excited me about this trip was the opportunity for the first time to lead a Bible study with the elders and with the pastor. And we focused on Psalm 40, which is a psalm of deliverance. And what amazed me is how easy it was to relate to the psalm even in the two cultures, and to think about how God had delivered them, and it became a part of the sermon that I preached on Sunday. And they were interacting, and it was good to be in a relational role with the pastor and with the elders as we enjoyed the Bible study and explored it together. And what really excites me is especially that, is the opportunity to deepen relationships, and this time it was through the vehicle of the Bible study. And that deepens all the relationships in the work of the community.
We had a very great trip. We had a very good group that came together really quickly. And the best thing about it was that everything we got accomplished, and we had no whiners in the group.
So imagine going up a dirt road in a dump truck for 15-20 minutes to reach the village where you're going to work, and what you do is install Windows 7 on top of XP for 12 student workstations. And then a little later, you have a video conference with the United States so the kids in the village can talk to the sponsors at home. And you see the delight in their eyes, and you see the desire they have to be in relationship with the sponsors, and it's that relationship that is the essence of this ministry.
This was the most amazing experience to me, this visit to Palau. I really didn't know what to expect. I had read a lot about the trips before, and I knew kind of, just from what I had read, what it was going to be like, but nothing prepared me for what I encountered when I got there. I never realized how important relationships were to the students. You have no idea how much it means to students to have their godfather and godmother, their Los Padrinos in the States. But what was perhaps the most important is I never realized how important the relationship was to me. When I met Ilda for the first time, we've been sponsoring her for 7 years, I just burst into tears. I was just totally overcome with emotion the moment I saw her there. And here was this person in real life that I had only known from a picture and from the letters she was writing to us. And here she stood with a beautiful, shy little smile, so happy to see us. And I cried so much I could hardly speak. So that was the highlight for me of oh gosh, almost my life, I think, to experience such a relationship. And I had really not planned on crying. It just bubbled up when I met Hilda. That was just a huge moment.
I'm going to talk to you today a little bit about my Becca student, Manuel Zephyr. He is the first university graduate from Palau ever. Craig and I have supported him for 5 years, and he has made us so very proud. We had a special graduation up in Palau for him the other day, and he was overwhelmed. We were overwhelmed. He is calling us his parents from America. I feel like he is my son from Palau. I haven't been to Palau in several years, but decided that I had to come back for Manuel's graduation. What a welcome he gave us. It was like seeing an old friend that I hadn't seen in a long time, even though we've been corresponding through the years. And Craig has seen him, and I would see him on Skype and stuff like that. But the hugs we got every day made up for any difficulty getting to Palau. It was well worth it. I will go back for his graduation when he attains his bachelor's degree. He again will be the first if all goes according to plan. I can't wait.
In Guatemala, I was involved with with a music program, and we ran some music recorder workshops for the children of Palau, and they were just so excited about learning the recorders. We had some rhythm instruments, and it was just so much fun playing with the children and using music as the media. The other thing that we did is that we had asked for donations of musical instruments to take back to Guatemala, and for this trip we were able to get 3 trumpets and 1 saxophone. And I know when we did the presentation presenting one of the trumpets, they turned to me and they said, "God bless you." So anyone listening to this, please, if you have instruments you're willing to donate to the program for us to take back, please do so, especially brass instruments because they have marching bands there.
This trip I've really been struck and thought a lot about the contrast in our first trip to Palau in July of 2006 and the trip this year, January 2014, and the changes I've seen. The first trip, it wasn't just that the people didn't know us and didn't interact with us because they didn't know us, they were scared. They were desperate, they'd had Hurricane Stan, they didn't know how they were going to survive. They were just so frightened. And now we have a vibrant village that we go see with 71 students. 10 just graduated from high school, boys and girls. We rarely have as many boys as we did this year. And now we have 17 of our students who are pursuing higher education. They're happy, they're excited. We've got, continuing our mini loan program. We started an agricultural diversification program a year ago that shows great promise to help them become independent of us, to help them improve their income and their livelihood. So the contrast between the desperate people who were so scared, and you can understand, and people with hope and a future, it's just exciting. And it's why I keep going back, because it's thrilling to be able to be allowed to have a part of their life, that they let us in their lives.
Virginia makes me do it.